As the camera comes up, as the screen comes live, what we see is a montage, a series of flashes. You have broadcast reports, you have news reports, you have social media stitched in, you have people on the street talking to one another. All of this is just sort of stitched and woven together, and you see sort of the TV as it pops between them. The newscast is giving very basic information, from the weather report into sort of the human interest story, and now the story that everybody's talking about, the mysterious puzzle pieces that appear throughout augmented reality, throughout NSF yesterday. Here's Cliff, our security expert. Well, in our opinion, it is unverified software. You should never interact with unverified software. This is a potential security risk. All residents are advised to cut to social media posts about, fuck that, did you get your 50 creds? Hell yeah, I got my 50 creds. I ran a malware scanner, did pop at it. It's just street corner. Oh, you didn't get, oh yeah, no, I think they're still up, dude. You got to go get your 50 creds on, man. So you see this disparity between the official line within the industry of like, well, we don't know what it is necessarily. Cut back to another set of newscasters. At this time, we've received no verification from any major corporations or marketing or media companies as to the nature of this program, but it could be as simple as a viral marketing campaign all the way down to something malicious. Again, it's the security expert back to social media, and it's like, hell no, I'm gonna get mine. Has anybody seen the new drop? Keep it fucking, and you cut to now there's forums set up. People are trying to track this, looking for the second drop. Has anybody seen the second drop? Now you start to get the urban legends going on. People saying they got the second drop. People, this guy's full of shit. So all of this is sort of the talk of the town, the talk of the net, the talk of the sphere. People, it is a mystery, and it seems to be a mystery to the establishment or the status quo, or at least to the mainstream media. No one seems to have any information greater than what anybody else has, or at least that's what you sort of see from this montage. The montage cuts, and we'll just take volunteers. It's Sunday, not early morning, it's late morning. We'll put it at, say, 9:30, 9:45 a.m. Who's up?
You want to go, Karen?
Sure, yeah.
All right.
Karen's walking up the alleyway, heading towards the base, and she has a to-go mug with her today, with a little tea bag dangling out the edge of her cup. She's sipping on it. Is there still a line out of Jigu's?
There is not. It's Sunday morning. The shop seems to be closed up.
Finally, a little peace and quiet back in the alleyway.
As you say that and you round the corner, there are two hipsters passed out in the alcove.
Oh, thought I smelled patchouli. Karen does her best not to, they're kind of tucked into a corner, I'm guessing. Okay. Karen ignores the hell out of them. Walks over towards the base. Goes in the front door. Anyone there?
You hear the lab in full work. Not like any Not any like voices or anything, but the thumbing of music is absolutely abound. Like you can feel the bass.
So it's just bass is what I'm hearing right now. Just
Oh yeah, no, until you open up that door, all you can hear is just the boom, the boom, the boom.
didn't even know we had speakers that loud. All right.
Appreciate it, Kai.
Hello? Krill?
At that
Troy?
moment, you actually see Snips on the floor, see you, and little side panels of his clothes, and the bass just cuts.
Okay. Was that you
Oh,
playing the music, little buddy?
he's just nodding along.
Did anyone tell you to turn that on?
It's nodding further. And
Okay.
if you look past him, you can see the mechanical arms in full swing again. This time working directly on Krill.
Karen looks back down at the drone and says, "She okay?"
Droid kind of gives you a iffy look, unsure itself.
Okay, so everything's normal. All right, cool.
There's a hologram projection of Krill in front of her, but you're not seeing like her skin and such. You are seeing every intrinsic mechanical detail of her laid out in a blueprint like format. And the further you walk in, the more she is separated in layers.
Are you working on an anatomy lesson?
Huh? And as she looks, the arms pull up. I'm creating a port system. While the one that is attached is useful, I am not able to augment at this current stage without understanding this body more. And as I learn it more, I'm realizing I need just a little bit more from it. As you see two large circular nodes being made on either of her shoulder blades.
Oh, all right. Have you learned anything useful?
For one thing, I thought for sure that the uh like thought processing system would be running down the spine like that of a human's, but no, it's pretty evenly distributed throughout the entire thing. What the damn it, guy? Memes in chat, y'all. Memes in chat. Um, that literally took me off guard.
What the fuck, man?
Um, where the fuck was I? Um,
Are you prepared for your DM?
DM literally being like, "Hey, you in character? Not anymore."
Now you know how it feels from my side. I be doing shit and y'all be memeing your asses off in chat.
Who's staying on track tonight?
Yeah, no, the cerebral system is like evenly distributed throughout the body. There's multiple points of like entry and such, but what I would assume, the spine being in central point, no, any point is accessible, but it's just not at all how I thought I was built. And she points to her alpha construction of like a networking spine. And she's like, this didn't work at all. I connected, but it basically just said connection points mean dit Italy squat to it. So I'm here going, now I need to reconstruct, need to figure out where to connect to. And if I need heavier augment points, I'm making them.
All right. Good.
Yeah. Also, this is so fucking weird. And she points to what looks like an engine block in her torso. It doesn't really look like an engine block. It just looks completely like some cybernetic thing. This is my stomach. I was expecting some bag or something, and this is an entire fuel system. This thing is able to convert so much matter into energy. I don't even have a fathom of how this thing works. This is going to take me forever to understand. But from the looks of it, I can eat a shit ton. And I mean a shit ton.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this is all very new to me.
Wait, is this gonna mean we're gonna have another Dalton level appetite to feed?
I'm almost afraid it's worse if I'm low on energy. Like I don't need to eat as often as him, but when I need to eat, it might be more than a Dalton sitting.
Okay. Okay.
I was looking at the weight capacity. I'm just thinking, like, oh my god, I can almost eat a whole freaking person in here. Chat. Oh my god, y'all, it's so hard not to read chat right now.
I wants this to be a short session.
No habla inglés.
Chatter. I'm ports are just on their finishing touches, and then I gotta let the table work on the new network system. But yeah, I think I understand myself more. Been pretty much up all night doing this. Don't need to sleep with my energy levels this high.
Okay. Have you made any progress on connecting with your little friends here?
Sadly, no. That's what we're doing these finishing touches on. So that fucker there's second version will work. Which the arms are about to start working on that once it. Ow! One of the arms just zaps, missing her. Okay, lining myself back up. Once the arms are done, which should only be in a minute or two, it's going to start working on my network system again. That one should work. And while that's going on, I think I'm just going to go start cataloging what's around in the base. A lot of shit that, like I know what's in my pile, but I was just here last night and I was looking at everything. I have no idea what Jacob cataloged, and I cannot find his archive anywhere. Half this shit I can't recognize from a glance. Told us that he did all that, and I, at this point, don't believe he did it.
He found a place to take a nap.
Yeah, no, that sounds more accurate.
In that moment, the front door opens as you just hear Patty yell, "Destiny!" Okay, I figured out the puzzle. I think I did, anyways. Okay, so one time, for the fucking some dude's bachelor's party at MedTech, we went to a strip club. Okay, there was this chick named Destiny. Okay, so it was really dark, and basically, like, she was all into like presenting this weird visual portrayal of being on bottom and everything, and like showing off her ass and everything, right? And so she was really dark, but there was a lot of lights overhead, and so I think it's Destiny. And you can see like Patty's eyes are like a little worn. She looks like she slept. Not much.
Krill is just looking to Karen.
Let. What the hell makes you think it has anything to do with her?
Okay. My thought process goes is it's really dark in strip clubs usually. It's usually whenever like night's hidden and everybody's like out and about and everything, no lamps shining on there, and destiny, fate.
Why? Why would she hack into your codex?
Maybe it's not about her. Maybe they want me to try and find destiny, and then they're going to try and connect with me at the strip club or something. I don't know.
In here, I thought you were trying to make a joke about Destiny calling you. I thought too highly of you, Patty. I'm sorry.
Patty, did you have sexual relations with this Destiny?
She was some random stripper. I don't know.
Does she show up in your dreams often?
I didn't dream last night. I got like 3 hours of sleep. Yeah.
Are you wishing to have coitus with this Destiny?
No, I want to figure out who gave me this fucking puzzle. And Patty just like sends a quick like screenshot of her entire like notes, and it's just like 14 different words, and they're all like completely different disconnected words, and they all have like random numbers sectioned across them. Okay, so I started like exercising and counting each time. Like I was thinking on the words. So like the first one, I was doing like a bunch of squats. Next one, I was doing like a bunch of star crunches and everything. And I was just like, destiny. It it has to be destiny. Okay, like otherwise, I spent like I don't know how many hours. I only just got to the bullet hole like for like 30 minutes, and Gruff was about ready to like fucking just tell me to shut up and drink more because I just kept talking about it. So, destiny.
I think anyone would have told you to shut up and stop talking about it when you were this down a rabbit hole, when you're this far down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, well, when someone sends you a random puzzle and you're worried about getting shot, you'd be a little paranoid too.
Ding!
Yeah.
Oh, look. My augments are done. I'm going to just start this construction on the beta version of this network, and I'm going to leave you to your discussion. And Krill's just kind of smiling at Karen as she leaves the room.
What's Troy up to during all this?
Well, you see his body in the corner, plugged in.
Okay.
He's on the net. More specifically, he's on the local network again. He's not, in particular, working on the puzzle at the moment. Maybe every once in a while he takes a break to go just implement something. But his mind's been kind of on the other puzzles, the puzzle piece puzzles and stuff. And we see him on the server and stuff. And there is also a live feed from the monitors into the server. So Troy is technically listening in on Patty's conversation, but seeing as it didn't exactly offer any potentially useful input, it got mostly ignored. But yeah, he's got the video clips kind of up as these hovering holograms around him and stuff. Every once in a while, he'll replay the messages. And he's using every kind of solving method that he knows to think of at the moment. Like, he's generating a whole bunch of anagrams of these phrases and stuff, and he has things like Connect Brain Jam, Tech in Embrace Rant, Bitter Mechanic Anon. Nothing that seems to become coherent, but every once in a while he regenerates or considers a new thing. And sometimes he turns back to the videos, seeing if there's anything else that he could garner from them. That's mostly what Troy's doing right now, is he's just kind of in autism mode.
Is Troy... Explain to me more about the type of analyses that Troy's doing. Now, you focused in on sort of the linguistic portion of what you have, we'll say, been given and what you've attempted to extract from that. But what other analyses has Troy attempted to do?
One was he took the first letter of each phrase to see if they made a meaningful initial, which, as far as he can tell, they haven't. He's tried shifting the letters to see if there's maybe a substitution cipher that he can detect. That's we are derailing this so fucking bad. That's not producing anything. Sometimes he looks back at the video and he decodes it every once in a while. The last couple of times he decoded it, it didn't really present anything useful, but maybe there's something he missed. Maybe there's some other underlying God damn it, that thing. Maybe there's some underlying information that he just fails to notice the last time. I regret making that thing so much.
No regards. No regards. So for something within sort of the space, and I'm going to move past. I'm not looking for input when I say this, but I'm going to give you this, and we'll go back to Meat Realm and see what Karen and Patty are up to here. But for something to occur in the way that it did, this isn't just a video. Think about what actually happened as far as like the series of actions with these objects. So, what are Karen and Patty up to?
Patty is sitting on the edge of a stool, so like she's in full ADHD mode right now, and she's like, okay, look, I know it's probably not destiny, okay, I get that, I just don't know where else to go.
Fair. Yeah, I'm not sure how to help you on this one, Patty. I don't know what this cipher thing means, but I don't think it means destiny. You could call her, though. Maybe she could get you a job.
I lost track of time trying to figure out this puzzle, and it's just eating my brain, and I'm worried, like, at any moment someone's gonna, like, fucking randomly break in and just, like, start shooting me, and I don't know how I'd rather they shoot me at this point than just fucking wait.
Why do you think this means someone wants to shoot you?
Well, considering the amount of times I fucked up, why wouldn't it be?
So you're assuming. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Good
if
to
they
know.
don't shoot me, I'll be glad. But like, if they start shooting me, I'll know what to do and how to react. It's just like, I just rather they just like go up to my face and say, "Hey, you, we gotta talk." You know, I'd rather that than this shit.
Who are you bound by fate to?
Well, you guys, I mean, my entire history is wrapped up in medtech. I mean, maybe it's my ex doing a really weird calling card. I don't. Let me think. It could be him. Yeah, my theory still may be the Nils because of the whole Jacob Codex shit, but I don't know. There's a couple possibilities. Oh God, is it them? But didn't they get sent to Mars? I mean,
Oh, your
there's.
little friend, you hoped?
Oh God. Can I look up if the kid's still getting sent to Mars, or is there any recent news on him?
You can.
Okay. I'm just doing a quick gucking it. I'm slashing Duckett's Google into gucking it.
Okay.
Yep.
That's fine. Prisoner transports are generally not open net published information.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reports of breakouts, but given the nature of the system that you find yourself in, there's no guarantee that they would even publish that. If it suits their purpose, they would. If it didn't suit their purpose, they wouldn't. So,
and knowing what I know, it depends on the fucking use of it. Well, that does not make me feel any more confident. So I just look at Karen. I'm like, well, we got some options here. I could go sit in a dark corner, wait for someone to show up. I could wait for them to fucking come at me, or we could do a job. Your call.
I think maybe we'll see about doing a job.
Okay.
See if we can keep you busy with something.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm just gonna break open another bottle of some shit and start drinking, and I do not particularly feel like that.
Okay. So, in the interest of finding something that you might be able to do, Karen pulls out her codex and pulls up the Freebooter app. Says, we're gonna see if there's something on here you might be able to do.
you sign in to the Freebooter app for the first time in a hot minute. All 3 previous jobs, of course, are expired. Given that they've expired and you didn't accept them, then there is no renewal fee or a refresh fee that normally would take that up. There are 3 jobs listed. They're looking for a data smuggler, a parts scavenger, and a courier, which, given the nature.
Okay. Well, let's look at the courier one.
It's just a listing for some black market cybernetics need moved. Job requires stealth, speed, and good understanding of our city's layout. Any experience with law enforcement and rival gangs, a plus.
Okay. Okay. What about the parts scrapper one?
Somebody is looking for a person to attempt to break into a secure demolition and recycling factory that is controlled in corporate zones, and they would like someone to go dig through the trash of the corporations to see what is possible to be found.
Literal dumpster diving.
Literal dumpster diving, but in Zone 5 territory.
Okay.
Sorry, 7, not 5, 7.
Just make sure you smack the freebooter app a little bit. Just smack it.
Knock on a little. Okay. And let's round it out. Let's look at the data smuggler one now.
It would be a secure pickup on the net, encrypted on deck encrypted hardware required. So you'd need a specialized chipset installed into something, depending on the nature of the individual or entity that will be smuggling said data. But it would be a secure black drop on the net, pick up the data, shuffle it over to a secondary location, upload data. They just need somebody to walk the data across the net in a secure fashion. Ideally, not being tracked.
Well, this one clearly was very much a Patty job. No. Okay. This does have me thinking of something, though. Troy, are you able to hear me?
The little screen. What room are you in, actually?
In the office.
Okay. The little screen pops up and you see Troy.
Random question. Do you have a way to store things remotely in a, say, encrypted location?
Troy pulls up his deck. And is there anything on his deck that can encrypt data?
I'm just thinking about how do I want to approach this. Is that Karen? Is that verbatim what you said to Troy?
Yes.
Okay. Troy, yes. There are tools on your deck to encrypt. There are tools on your deck to, embed steganographic tools. There are tools to properly just encrypt a file. Yes, those tools exist on your deck.
Do you know how to extract a file too?
I'm fairly certain that's probably second nature to Troy, but Troy says, yes, I have that capability, and I am basically my own storage device.
And you're a secure storage device.
I can be.
We'll have to talk more about that later. I'm gone off on a tangent. Sorry, dear.
No problem. I enjoy talking to you. And the screen flips back to the home screen.
Well, out of the 3, I don't think you're getting into Zone 7 today, honey. So if you wanted to help, the courier would be something we would be looking at.
Okay.
However, let me think. How could we get to Zone 7? What would that require?
Let me look at the map real quick.
You have to go through Zone 4.
Well, you take the main terminal more than anything, because that's like the most straight shot.
Yes, that's probably
For
the
the
only
for
way
the
to get
purposes of reading the map, I will help you because there is some iconography on it. What you'll notice is if you go to, you see the so the triple route is ground, air, and transit, right? So anytime you see a 3 hub, that means all 3 are going through that. So you can follow that main road, the main area. Now, if you see the gear icon on the 3, that means it's for the most part it industrial, right? It's a worker's one. But if you see the sort of trapezoid shape, that is a secured location.
Okay, so you hit the gear in Zone 4, and then it hits the Zone 7, so between there, it's likely, like, really secure?
Yeah. Your main transit, which is the star there, anybody can come and go. The Zone 4, you're going to need some reason to be there, right? Zone 7, your reason's going to be looked into. Best way to think about it.
Yeah. Patty looks over to Karen. I mean, could we try and get Troy to run us up some fake shit just enough to get us through, and then we can pull up a good old little bit flowing mode?
I have a slight feeling that whatever reason we come up with for being there needs to be a semi-legitimate one, not one we are slapping something on top of.
Now,
Say, for instance... Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, now keep in mind, like 5 and 6 and 8, of course, but Red Sea, Blue Sky, and Varangian run very tight facilities, right? But Zone 7 is the Corpo Commons. There's a ton of businesses there. There's a ton of corporations based out of there. There's a ton of industry based out of there. There's a lot of people that come and go out of there. There's numerous reasons, from, maintenance to food to, catering to support staff to administrative assistants to, that is a lot of businesses with a lot of entry points. 5 and 6 and 8, you better have your your big boy and big girl and big NB pants on.
Okay.
I assume Patty explained, or Karen explains that to Patty. All right.
Yes.
So I'm thinking Troy could run us up some fake shit. We could pretend that's our real shit, and then we just slip in, slip back. No one notices.
We could. You don't have anybody that you have worked with who might have a connection to that, would you? Who might be able to hook you up with something to get us in there?
Problem comes is MedTech doesn't really make a whole lot of connections, and any connections I have in MedTech, I burned that shit a long fucking time ago. You know, saving a kid that you thought was a kid turns out to be a serial killer doesn't exactly do well for keeping your company rep. Okay, let's finish the dying.
All right. You don't know anybody else?
No, not really. I'm good at a lot. I'm good at doing things. I'm not good at keeping relationships.
Fair. Okay. Well, that one will take some planning.
Yeah. Although the first one you were talking about doesn't seem too hard.
The courier?
The career one. Or
Courier.
Oh, that's me. I misheard. Hi, I'm from Arkansas.
Somebody who takes something and delivers it somewhere.
You mean one of those transport types, right?
Yeah. Now you're getting it.
Yeah. I knew them in the Pony Express.
Hmm. Yep. That is pretty well what could occupy you. Yeah.
And I mean, it gives me more time to see if I figure out the fucking puzzle, so.
Okay.
Make needles in your feet.
Is there like a full listing for the courier one, or just
Pickup location is not given. Delivery location is not given because those details would be given upon job acceptance. That's secured data that wouldn't be in the job description. And neither location is given. What you have is that you have black market cybernetics that need to be moved from supplier to purchaser. Medium storage for the size of the cybernetics. So nothing too unwieldy, but it's not going to fit into a pocket.
be more like a trunk?
Duffel bag.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, if we had a car that we could throw it into, that would work. If we accept this and we're given the location, you could do your best to look, but this would be...
We still got Dalton's car in the garage, right?
Yeah. The race car? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a car.
Yeah. Kind of thinking less noticeable the better for, black market
There.
parts. Yeah.
You know what you're doing. I'm just throwing ideas out.
Yeah. Okay.
You hired, you like to hire cars out when we do shit, like when you go fancy and everything. You want to hire the car, let the guy take a break, we just use it, be back?
They would know everywhere that car went.
Okay, fair.
like everywhere and everything that it did. There would be cameras. Just saying. So this would need to be our car. But
You think we could pawn off that car and then get like a simpler car? Something like nondescript?
we don't have the moving truck anymore, do we?
No, that... I fucked that one up too.
Hmm.
Does this, does the request give like a timeline, or is it just the simple description?
Simple description.
Okay, so they're not going to give us a time to drop off until... Okay.
That's just bad OPSEC.
I mean, fair. I had to ask. I
Yep.
had to ask.
Fair enough, but no.
Do we even have anything else that you'd be driving right now, Wordy? For Patty?
No, Patty takes the terminal. Patty,
Yeah.
no. I take the terminal. I don't drive too often. It's now that Dalton's missing, I might have to start taking him driving more, but you know,
Yes.
it might just make it easier for us for the future.
What happened to that car that had the good suspension?
That doesn't narrow it down. There's a lot of cars like that.
No, the one that Dalton had that like rode really nice. It had like the because when Krill was super heavy.
The fucking tiny one? Like the one that we did like when we all first met up with each other?
Oh wait, that's the one that he. That's right. It's the one that it's all messed up that he disappeared in. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Well, I locked his keys in. Wait, did I lock it? Don't remember if I locked his door. I put his keys back in his apartment because I just wanted to leave there in case he wanted to come back for it.
Okay. How about this? Can you go get the car that Dalton disappeared in?
He left the keys in the car, which I took and took back to his apartment. So I should be able to get into his apartment, and I can go and get the car if it's still there.
Also, whatever the hell happened to the car, maybe closer look, we can figure that
Probably.
out. But we need a car
Yeah.
if we're gonna do that.
Yeah. I knock on Troy's monitor again just to give him a tap.
Troy kind of sighs a little bit because he still has the microphone patched in. He has a button there that's programmed in, and basically all Patty just did was to him. So the monitor turns on and says, "Yes, Patty."
Sorry, Troy. Sorry to bother you. Can you send me a location where Dalton left his car when he fucking disappeared on us?
Very well. And you get a little ping on your phone with the last known location of Dalton's car.
Okay. Can you make sure it's still there? I don't want to like to run all the way uptown just and like not be there.
I can try.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
All right. I think this one calls for the hardware layer
Okay.
for the sake of speed.
Okay. So go ahead and describe to me.
Okay. So first things first, Troy's going to make sure that he has the network location or the IP address of that particular area. He's just going to do a quick ducket. It's Google search over that. The parking garage, the location, known network areas, download all that information. And then he's going to log off real quick, and everyone who's in the room just sees Troy's body just kind of jolt a little bit, and then immediately relog back into the hardware layer.
Okay.
Utilizing the data that he's downloaded, he brings up the most likely IP address candidates and sets course over the network to this location on the hardware layer, flying off in kind of a techno-y superhero fashion across a big highway of data nodes and networks.
Troy arrives. There's a series of cameras connected to that.
All right. He's just going to start looking through them one at a time. Also, he's going to maybe... if that'll fucking load. Let's get Sentinel and Foxy up just in case. Those don't work on this layer?
Nope.
All right. I actually was wondering about that, and now I just had that question answered. Okay, so... yeah, he's just going to start looking at the cameras one by one, see if he can find the car.
So, let me roll you back.
All right.
So, navigating the hardware for Troy isn't done by address. It's done in sort of a more holistic way. Because the hardware layer doesn't have an IP address. Now, the software layer has an IP address assigned to the hardware layer, right? So what you're looking at as you go, what you would have done is that you would know the location generally, and you'd know that you would take a guess that there's network connected cameras in this location. And then Troy would head in that direction, going right and zooming through a telco box, left over a wireless, boom, 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 and sort of navigating through this hardware layer, trying to find this final location as he feels his way through the net. It's very much navigating without a compass, navigating without a map, but knowing that I need to go over that ridge and that there's a pond on the other side of it. So I just need to find a path over that ridge, and then I'll be able to see the pond. And then once I'm to the pond, then I can look into the pond. Sort of means of naturalistic navigation that Troy would feel for the hardware layer.
Okay, so it's like how a person would navigate in real life, but for Troy, this is how he navigates.
Yeah.
As a machine in a machine world.
Correct.
Okay, I get it now.
Yeah. There's the sort of IP addresses or software. That's how humans relate to a hardware location. That's how we determine that sort of thing. Troy, on the other hand, sees the hardware.
Okay, so we're literally deep down onto the bottom fucking layer then. That fucking low.
Yeah. If we're doing an OSI layer map, we're at layer 1.
All right.
Yeah. If we must get highly technical about the matter, then yes, we'd be at a layer 1. Troy is navigating through the hardware itself.
All right.
As Troy clicks and ticks through these various cameras, goes over to this one, goes over to that one, goes over to this one. You see that the vehicle is still there, but has been it's a blackout. So basically, the vehicle has been tagged and ticketed with essentially they put a little ticket on the screen, and that ticket just across all of the windows, and so you can't see outside the vehicle until the ticket is paid.
Is that ticket accessible via the hardware layer?
No.
Okay. So we would have to be there physically. All right. So the car is still there then. And, all right. Confirming that, Troy just kind of flies off from the camera, returning back over the various layers of the hardware, jumping over these digital hills and...
Hold on.
Oh.
Yeah. It's accessible via the hardware layer.
Sweet. All right. They're just like a basic little a little bit that Troy could like change real quick that would change it from its active state to an inactive state.
Roll the dice for me.
All right.
Yeah, we're gonna coin flip this.
That's a -1.
It is more complicated than just flipping a bit.
All right. Figured. When Troy examines it and looks over the various hardware level codes and stuff that he can perceive in this thing, but what's he seeing? Is there anything that he can garner that could possibly enable him to deactivate this?
Give me a roll.
All right. I hate when you do that. Oh my god. Why? We're doing this again. That's a -2.
Troy busting out those badass rolls once again. There is some sort of process that is activated by a software layer, and the hardware layer seems to be some sort of nanomachine chemical process that sort of generates and builds this screen that bonds to the windshield. And then there seems to be some sort of trigger at the software layer that then causes this machine to electrochemically deconstruct itself.
I'll also start Apple Radio playing. That's why there's background noise. Troy's tempted to play with that. He just has this kind of natural urge to play with technology, but he also has learned that if you play with it too much, shit happens. So maybe now it's best to inform everyone of what he's discovered.
Okay.
And he goes through the process of logging off the hardware layer.
As you do. Once again, for the first time in a while, there's a sense of overwhelming expansiveness, a sense of belonging, more so than the net. The net is built for humans, but this feels homely. And just as Troy leaves to re-enter his body proper, he hears a voice.
It's back!
That says, Troy.
Just as he's about to log off and everything's about to flash back into his body, he jolts back, hearing that voice again, or whatever that is that's calling him. And then his face is just smacked into the Troy body. Like someone just clamped a rubber mask over his face. And he's back in there, and he's back looking through these stupid little narrow peepers that, sure, they're high definition, they can deliver HD information to him, and they deliver crystal clear with lots of data, but it's artificial to him. The real world becomes artificial to him, and he's back into it, and there's always just that little bit of, it's this again, every time he's back in his body. He turns to who's ever in the office and says, Dalton's car is still at its previous location. However, it appears to have been impounded.
Impounded?
Or
It is functionally a form of impounding the car without having to relocate it.
I was trying to think of the
it's like a
proper
boot.
word, and it
Yeah.
escaped me, so I just said
It's
impounded.
like a boot.
Yeah.
Did you get a catch on how much it would cost to pay it?
I did not.
You would have seen the ticket.
Okay, I was wondering about
You
that.
would you would have seen the ticket. It's been there for Okay. So you owe base rate 250 creds with all of the service charges for the actual ticket. Now it's 550 creds.
Patty
that's
turns.
good. That's great.
Yes.
Patty turns to Karen, and that's why I asked.
That's why you asked what?
Yeah, it would cost us 500 creds at least.
Oh, yeah. That's why you asked Troy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. Wasn't sure what you meant.
You're good. Thanks, Troy. I know that was probably like 30 minutes in real time for you, so sorry for all that effort for nothing.
There is no need to apologize. Troy says kind of wistfully.
You good, bud?
I am now.
All right. See anything interesting there?
I struggle to find words to adequately describe it to someone who must exist in this state constantly.
Patty
Okay.
looks at Karen and then looks back at Troy. Okay, well, when you figure out words that can get close, I guess, just, I'm here to talk.
You want to go back in?
Troy just kind of slowly looks over to Karen. And there's definitely this hint of he wants to say yes, but he doesn't say anything, and he just looks back over to Patty.
Is he in physical body right now, or
He is in his
terminal?
physical body, yes. He is.
All right. She just wraps an arm around him, and she's like, "Look, I don't know what you get up to on the net there, and or the whatever, but if you're having fun, you're having fun, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't forget to check on us mortals every once in a while." And she just taps his shoulder.
Well, I have somewhere to be. This is something that could occupy you still. If both of you could go, maybe see if you can take care of the ticket. Who knows? Maybe able to finagle it in person. I
Do
don't
some
know.
Troy magic.
Who knows? But at least, we need a car.
Yep.
We do need a car.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to maybe get a closer look at whatever's going on with it, with the paint, whatever.
Yeah. Probably. All right. Okay. So you go do your presumably fancy shenanigan shit.
Yes. I'm
Alright.
going to have brunch.
All right. Well, if you need anything, hit me up. And Troy, you want to go on a little adventure back to the car in real time this time?
You see Troy just kind of thinking about it for a minute, and then he says, "Okay."
All right. Cool. Yeah. Let's go. All right. Hey, Krill.
Rill's in the other room.
Yeah. She walks over.
You see her literally stick her head up out of a pile of trash. Yeah.
All right. Karen's gonna do fancy shenanigan shit, and me and Troy gonna check out old car Dalton abandoned, and we're gonna try and see if we can get into that shit. And if you need anything, just hit us up. All right.
Don't forget the shell shock rifle. Keep yourself armed.
Where is that?
Laying in the lab up against the wall.
All right. I go and check it out. What does it look like? Is it still the fishiness and everything?
Yeah, no, it's just the sharp parts got removed, so it's able to be used without hurting you.
Alright, cool. She picks it up.
The guy's just like, I liked it that it hurt her.
Yeah. Let me have my revenge. She picks it up. Is there a sling in it at all? Or is it just...
No sling was ever
No.
described.
No. Get a
She just-
rifle case like normal people do.
Does NSF even allow for open carry?
No, but it's sort of there's entire swaths of this city that will not blink twice, and it is very socially normative to see firearms and weaponry, and given the cybernetic nature, a lot of people are it's sort of like constitutional carry territory where people just assume you're armed. And so while there are entire portions of the city, the well, the corporate zones, commerce sort of frowns upon it, but you know, if you're a bodyguard, if you're somebody wealthy, if you look like you're wealthy even, nobody's gonna say anything. And then there's the sort of like, if they look scary enough factor, right? Gangbangers who look terrifying enough also will not be questioned about their carrying of weapons or their open weaponry that is now built into them. So while it's technically not legal, it's sort of like it's sort of a universal holding clause in case they need to fuck with you. Otherwise, there's just sort of a social normative value going on where a lot of people have guns and they're just walking around with them, man. They're on their arms, they're in their fingertips, they've got fucking fiber wires, there's just weaponry from stem to stern in this place. Sort of a just don't rock the boat. And usually people don't give a shit about it.
Yeah.
In other words, it's kind of hard to enforce it when you can be the weapon.
Yes.
Patty picks it up, walks over to Krill. Can you get a sling on this? I don't want to like just fucking carry it.
Machine's kind of in full use right now. Crafting bench. For now, just put it in the car. Unless you're walking.
I mean, we'd have to take the terminal. How are we getting to the car?
Troy hands
There's
Patty
a
an
car
extension
right
cord.
there.
We're going to the other car.
There's two of you, isn't there? Can you not both drive?
I mean, fair, but do we have the keys to that one?
Either of you know how to hotwire a car?
It's pretty electronic. Troy, can you hack the car?
I attempted to hack it the last time I was there. It is entirely mechanical.
Yeah, do you know how to hotwire a car?
No. The one here, not the one there.
We know what we're doing.
The one there has been used.
Yeah, it had keys.
It doesn't need keys.
Push button.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
okay.
we established that.
Cool. I forgot. That's me. That's fine.
Yeah.
Hey, look, ADHD. Fuck you. Fuck you. Okay. Fuck
You
you.
know how to break into a car? I think it's still
That-
unlocked.
that's
Hopefully.
All right, Troy. Let's head out.
Troy follows Patty.
Okay. She is going to leave the rifle here for the moment. She's just not gonna carry that. She's like, when you do get a sling on it, just give me a heads up.
You could just grab a cable and tie something to either end, right? There's plenty of holes in the stock and around the barrel. You could just
Okay,
tie
first
something
off,
to.
no, okay? You do not disrespect a firearm like that. You put a goddamn sling on it.
No, I would make you a case for it before I gave you a sling.
Okay, well, if you want to make a case for it, you make case for it. But you either put it in a case or you put it in a sling. You don't make a hand-me-down wrapped wire around the rifle.
I'm regretting making you a gun. Just go.
Okay. Glad we... And she just puts sunglasses back on and walks out.
And Krill's just making a note right now. Make holstering system for weapons before getting bitched out.
I had to channel my viscous there.
Troy's making a
Yeah.
note. Humans apparently worship weapons. Just as Troy follows Patty to the car, Troy looks over at Patty and asks, "Would you like to drive or shall I drive?"
You know how to drive?
I am programmed with basic driving protocols, and I have driven this vehicle before.
Do you want to, zone out and do some shit while we're driving?
I don't think there is anything that I would be capable of doing during the course of that time.
You could be trying to figure out how to hack into that ticket thing while I'm driving over there.
Perhaps. Though I have one concern.
What?
I am unsure if they would be able to if interfering with that, they would be able to trace our progress while we are driving. It may be better to pull over to someplace less conspicuous once we do.
So you're worried that they're gonna find our location while you're doing it?
That, or potentially other consequences for attempting to tamper with the device.
Can't you just set it up to where you can't be tracked? You're good with that shit.
It's more complicated. It's difficult to explain, but it is a little bit more complicated than just setting up to not to be tracked.
Alright, you're the computer guy, whatever. And she just slips in shotgun, opens up front door for him.
So while they're doing this, who's driving?
Troy?
Driving check from Troy, please.
All right.
While they're doing this, Krill, give me a roll, please.
Why?
What did you get?
-3.
Bro, maybe I should drive.
I got -1. Dice are not in anyone's favor today.
The booze. What the fuck?
All right. Okay. Patty continually just keeps asking these questions while Troy is attempting to drive out.
Yeah.
And
She's asking it because the minute he starts driving, it is not going well. So she's anxiously gripping the side. She's like,
Patty, in her effort to grab onto something, grabs the stick shift.
I knew it. I knew you were going there.
Yeah.
my left hand went onto my own there. I did not make that choice.
And Karen, Krill would see it and hear it. Karen would hear it as there's a crunch from the alleyway.
Sorry, man. I go for my taser when I get nervous. All right, I'm sorry.
Patty?
Yep.
Perhaps you would like to zone out while I drive.
Um. Okay. She just
Krill just walks back into the room.
puts
They
the
just kill
puzzle back.
someone?
She just puts the puzzle back on as she starts like thinking about it. Yep.
I evidently need to be explicit and just tell the morons to walk next time.
You know, I feel like I'm at fault for reminding them they're both capable of driving, forgetting that, no, Patty's not capable of driving, despite her proving us wrong the last few times. No.
Okay. Patty,
You ain't
saw
here. You
Patty.
drive
we can't hear them.
Fucking. I do not like this slander. Okay, it was not my fault this time.
It's entirely your fault.
Technically, it was my fault, and then Kai made it Patty's fault.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Kai.
He's a machine. Why would he just suddenly fuck up like that?
Still, fuck you.
You're the common element. As the car and you there's now like there's shattered headlight and like turn signal like on the ground as they sort of re-angle and head down the alley. As they do, the camera fades and we find ourselves moving above water. And the camera is zooming in and it's just rushing over, and you find yourself looking at a cove. And the camera comes in, and as it comes in, you see sort of middle high-end high-rises. You see some money. You see the fact that this is sort of there's a couple of yards. There's a park, right? There's a couple of boats. There's some money here. As the camera rushes in, it angles a little to the left, and it goes towards this moderately sized building, and the camera finds its way towards what you see as sort of the it'd be 8th to the 9th floor, sort of part way up this building, and you see Gavin Bayette on a balcony overlooking the water, and he's got a crystal tumbler in his hand and the last remnants of some sort of brown liquid in the bottom of it, and you see he sort of and he downs it and he sort of steals himself, and you hear a voice from inside the condo as the camera sort of looks at Gavin, and you can see in through the doors behind him, you can see that there's clearly a large open living area, and there's at least some sort of staircase on the left, so you get the feeling immediately this is at least a 2-story condo, right? There's a couple of levels in this condo at least, and you hear a voice in the background, and Gavin replies, "Take your time, Perry. It's fine." And in that moment, you see Gavin, sort of the result of that stealing himself. He puts the glass down very quickly and furtively glances around, and the camera following him, but tracks off to the side really quickly as he enters in, rushing towards the door. You see his codex on the table, and he just towards the door and slips out of the door, and you see him turn the handle and close the door and then turn the handle again, and you see him at the elevator pushing the button, and he gets on the elevator and he's pushing the button again and pushing the button again and pushing the button again. And the elevator gets down and the doors open, and you see this lobby. It opens up to several elevator banks, and he very quickly rushes out towards the lobby. There's fresh flowers on a table, and there's, an attendant by the desk. And have a wonderful day, Mr. Bayette. And he just sort of ignores this person and just rushes towards the doors. And the camera is very close, tight on him through this action. As he reaches towards that door, you see the hand go out to the door, and then you see a hand on his shoulder, and he just freezes. Mr. Bayette, you forgot your codex. And there's just a wash of emotions, micro expressions. There's shock, fear, just disgust, sadness, maybe even a little bit of relief mixed in there. It's just a flash of these emotions and then the fake smile comes back, and oh, silly me. Thank you, Perry. Oh, you're welcome, Mr. Bayette. Well, and Perry reaches in, gets very close to Gavin, and reaches over his shoulder and pushes the door open. So, where are we headed today, Mr. Bayette? Oh, well, we have a brunch appointment today. Oh, well, very good. After you. Oh, and Gavin, gathering himself, goes out, and there's a car that comes around, and Perry opens the door for him, and he gets in, and Perry closes the door and gets into the passenger seat of the car. And we see the car go off. And we cut back to Karen.
Yeah. Huh. Well, Karen, after having just heard the lovely crunch and scrape heading up the alleyway, pulls out her codex before heading out and calls up Nerty One.
Hello, Miss Karen.
Oh, Nerdy One. Oh, it's always so good to hear your voice. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I started a new job.
Oh, new one. I hope it's an upgrade.
I hope so.
The reason I'm calling, hun, is I had asked you to look into that person for me.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry, Miss Karen. I've been busy with this new job.
Oh, okay. Oh, I appreciate it anyway. I just thought I would check in, see if you had it.
If you could, what are you looking for? And I could probably right now. I could try.
If you have something to do with his personal life, something to look into, not work related, but personally.
And Bayette, right, Miss Karen? Gavin Bayette.
Yes, Beyett.
I mean, it doesn't seem like. Takes one to know one, I suppose. He has a lot of photos from nice places, but it doesn't seem like he has a much of a life.
Ah. Okay. Lots of appearances, but doing very little. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Anything about his family?
Hold on. His mother apparently died really young. His father died about 10 years ago now. No brothers, no sisters.
Hey, daddy's boy. Okay. How about anything about his apartment? Something about the... You said he lives in the cove, right?
I didn't say anything about that, but yes, that's apparently where he lives, yes.
Oh, that's right. You didn't... okay. Oh, sorry. Another friend told me that. Okay, so he... okay. He has... Okay, yep. The only other person I know about is someone named Perry and a woman working for him named Sabine. Sabine, I think, is the head of his business. Could you find that out?
Sabine Schmidt. She's a business manager.
Anything about this Perry person who's their security guard?
No, whoever he, no, I don't see anything about him. He could be, he could be off payroll. No, sorry, Miss Karen.
Like, there's nobody you can find?
Not working, not on the public directory for the business, no.
Not working. Oh. Okay. Who's Perry work for then? How
There's a
about
lot of
Perry
Perrys.
who works at the Cove? Could you find a Perry employed in the Cove?
I don't see a Perry at the Cove.
Okay. Okay. All right, hon. I think that might be all I have that I could ask for. You actually helped me quite a bit today, though, hon. Thank you. Is there anything special you maybe want?
Actually, I can do this. Can I ask for a favor in the future?
You know, hun, for as much as you've helped me, I think that would be okay.
Thank you, Miss Karen.
I appreciate you, Nerdy One.
Thank you. Yeah, I do too.
Always a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise.
Right, well, you take care, dear. Well, Karen dear, or sorry, Krill dear. Wow, my brain named today. Sorry. Good gravy. Krill dear,
Yeah, what can I help you with?
I'm gonna head out for a minute. I'm gonna go have some brunch. Please try and keep an eye/ear out for our bumbling idiots we have let out into the world, all on their own.
I will do that. How are you on ammo?
That's a good question. Karen pulls out her gun. Checks. Actually, down to basically nothing. Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to make sure you're armed before you leave. Those idiots are making sure they're safe a hassle. I'm ignoring them. For you, and Krill just walks into the lockers off to the side and pulls out some pistol ammunition from there. Here, 2 more full mags. I'll take the empties and reload them when I get the chance.
Thank you, dear. Normally it's not an issue, but I'm not all here today. I'm doing my best.
No, we all are. And speaking of that, though, and Krill just, well, she doesn't have a hologram projector on her anymore. I've been working on something for you that is a little bit more your style. I'll be running up a second attempt of our earlier prototype. One that's a lot more subtle.
Good. Yes.
It's on the docket after this upgrade is finished. Which, honestly, I hope it's like halfway done. I haven't checked in on it. I just let the machine go to auto build. The design's been done for a while. Yeah, while you're gone, I'm gonna try and crack into some of these cases and barrels. I have no idea what's in any of these, though.
Oh. Well, be safe whenever you crack them open.
I don't know if I need clean oxygen, but good idea just in case.
Just remember,
Listen.
you can smell now.
I could smell before, but it didn't register the same way it does now. I don't think my old smeller was directly connected to my olfactory bulb. I think it was just kind of like falsifying data in that way. These ones directly are, yeah. I can tell when shit smells terrible in an entirely new way. That's why I'm really avoiding checking the mech.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if
'Cause-
you needed a little pick-me-up, just, crack it a little.
Ugh. No, I don't want to clean that. I would much rather finish one of my other projects to clean that out for me.
Maybe we can get one of those hipsters to hose it out.
Ooh, maybe they would like that, you know? Like, you want the porta potty experience firsthand, feeling what it means to be a service worker?
I'll look into that when I get back.
Sounds good. Alright, enjoy your brunch. Glad you're restocked on the ammo. Just be safe.
I'll do the best I can.
So far, you do the best of us, so I can trust that.
Survived this long. Toodles.
Have a good one. And then Krill just continues looking at these massive storage containers she has no easy way getting into. I'm gonna need my buzzsaw.
Okay, we'll put a pin in that then. Krill goes in search of her buzzsaw. How is Karen going to proceed?
Getting a car.
Cool. So you walk out towards the main terminal, sort of road network, at the end of the alleyway, and quick meme work. Fucking pulls out her codex, calls a car up. And 200% gold, nice. Car pulls up. Where are you going?
Actually, that's a damn good point. Karen calls up Gavin.
Okay. All right, your choice.
I don't believe we said, did we?
Yes.
Oh, we did. Okay, it would have been last week. Oh, my notes are failing me.
Then since you're not around anybody else, we'll just do this that way. Gavin picks up. Gavin Bayette.
Oh, Gavin, dear. Hate to have to call. I'd rather just show up, but my brain has left my head today, and I have simply forgot where we're meeting.
Oh, my dear, it happens to the worst. It happens to the best of us. I understand. The Bay Bistro.
Bay Bistro. How could I forget? Okay. Lovely. Well, I look forward to seeing you very shortly.
Well, I'm already en route, so I shall see you there.
Looking forward to it. Well, I guess we're going to the Bay Bistro, dear.
Oh, the infamous caboose spelling, too.
Bistro.
The Bestro.
Hi, it's the best bistro. That's why he's written as Bestro, obviously.
Your camera has okay. Did you do that for the cat?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, I was gonna say your camera migrated down just in case. I didn't see it. Okay, so the car pulls out. The Bay Bistro is very close to the well as far as commerce section goes. It is by the marina proper. And so it's not that long of a shot. It's functionally a straight shot via transit, but it's a little road that you jog off to the left and then you take a straight down, and then there's a nice little diagonal road that runs across the marina that you pull up to. And as you pull up, there's a little inlet with a protected strip of land that juts out. And there's a few boats that are allowed in here that have permits to be in there. These days, it's mostly just a protected sort of marina that has a lot of commercial buildup around it.
Okay. Anything particular outside of the building?
No. I mean, it's the building is sort of a weathered looking. It's weathered and sort of old world sort of pier wood with neon accents now. Its facade is now adorned with like sort of holographic signage. That sort of glows against the waterfront, that sort of thing. It is, despite what's going on around the backside of it, the front of it is sort of like the owners association for this area sort of has agreed upon this sort of serene sense that it looks out across the bay And so they try and keep things calm as they do there. It's set up to have sort of an old world marina pier charm.
Splendid looking place. Yeah. Karen heads inside.
Again, old world charm wood, but it's got futuristic elements. So it's got brick walls that are interspersed with digital art displays. And there's ambient lighting being provided by these like soft floating light orbs that just sort of very gently rock, back and forth in place, being held there by, a magnetic system. As you walk in, the manager seems to be up front seating people. He's got a little name tag. His name is Remy. Sharply dressed, friendly demeanor, makes eye contact immediately. And you see cybernetic eyes that in this instance probably is providing, seating details, feedback on the kitchen. Like he's probably got the full restaurant manager HUD going on behind those eyes. And, you hear him glad hand somebody and happy to see you again, Susan. Until next time, regulars' names probably in there as well, right? Facial rec, but no need to actually remember these people. There's hardware and software systems for that now. Welcome. Do you have a reservation?
I believe so. I'm supposed to be meeting Gavin Bayette.
Oh, Mr. Bayette, lovely. He's already seated. Let me take you to him.
Oh, thank you.
He shuffles you off. It's not a very large, a large seating space. This is probably at most a 30 top restaurant. It's not huge. And he walks you towards sort of like a middle back. It isn't like a corner booth sort of situation. He's just on the floor. He's at one of the tables. And as soon as he sees you coming, he stands up. A napkin was in lap. He stands up, puts the napkin on the table. Karen, my dear. Welcome. Thank you, Remy. What would you like to drink?
This hour, a mimosa would be wonderful.
Remy, mimosas all around. Very good.
Thank you.
Very good. And Remy pulls your chair out for you and just pushes it in as you have a seat and takes the napkin off the place setting and just places it on your lap for you. And 2 mimosas coming right up.
You do have great taste in locations, don't you, Gavin?
One must develop a taste for the finer things in life.
Now, do you develop it, or were you pointed here?
Oh, well, I mean, this place I found through, one of my many comings and goings. You meet people and they recommend things, and you meet other people and they recommend things, and eventually you end up with a collection of recommendations that you make your own.
What a wonderful little life you lead.
Yes.
We had talked about Azure Haven. Have you looked into making a trip out there?
That's wishful thinking at the present moment, I must admit.
Now, see, that is exactly why we are meeting here today, Gavin. That right there. I see that. I see that want in your face. I'm here to help.
I assure you, whatever want you see in my face is merely a desire for... there they are, the mimosas. Up walks a young woman. Very energetic, attentive approach. Vibrant, color changing hair, right? Like the hair is actually like sort of shimmering and shifting in tonality as she walks up. Very discreet, but with a fine eye, one can sort of pick out the fact that she's got cybernetics that probably work well for the restaurant and service industry. A really keen eye would notice the legs and the arms. And if one really were paying attention, you'd notice that Mira hasn't forgotten an order or mixed up an order ever. So clearly a very well enhanced young lady, but seemingly specifically for the service industry. She takes great pride in her job, it seems. She comes fluidly up to the table, but that hand is just static, just rock fucking solid. She's moving, she's booking across that floor, but those mimosas, they don't even have a ripple in the surface. Yeah. And she just, and here you go, and one here. Are you ready? Can I take your orders, or do you need more time?
Well, I haven't had a chance to look at the menu yet.
Oh, well then, by all means, I'll check back with you in a few. And she just folds that little little tray up to her chest, and just off she's gone.
On top of things, but I don't even know what's good to eat here.
Oh, well, I mean, I have to admit that everything's good here. But I'm a simple man. I like a good egg. I like a good hollandaise. So,
how did you guess? That was already on my mind.
Well, their Eggs Benedict is exceptional.
Gavin, little mind reader. What else do you see in that little mind of yours? Do you see yourself walking on a beach?
Oh, that would have to be a part of my mind relegated to dreams at this point, my dear. But I do have questions for you.
Oh. Such as?
Well, you see, you wish to perform a service for me, but I don't know anything about your credentials, your capabilities, your capacity. So, if you wish to have a business brunch, as we are attempting to have, I suppose I need to interview you.
Fair. Now, most of the previous work I've done doesn't lend itself to being very resume-worthy.
It wouldn't be the first time that we've had to work with a private contractor before. So, first off, what is it you think you can do for me? What services do you bring to the table?
I make connections. I can help with finding someone, the right person that they would need. Or if you need someone else to do something that is maybe a little hard to get someone you already know to do.
Ah, a facilitator. Okay. Well, how do you wish to do this? Out of character. There's going to be some very subtle stuff happening here, and it has been happening. And do you? I always give you the option to just play the scene, or do rolls.
Well, I always just want to play it instinctually.
I know but that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, because clearly you noticed my brain's not firing in full capacity today.
More the limitations, if you and I were across the table from one another, I think what I have to do would be easier. But it's difficult in the format we're doing right now.
Okay.
So given the technological limitations, I figured maybe a roll handicap might be more useful in this regard.
Now I see what you're saying, and yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you could look at me, like just straight up in the face, you might have been picking up what's been happening. So, go for a roll.
-1.
Cool. I'm not going to give you your reason. What is Karen a tad preoccupied with?
Today is a day Karen is trying to forget what day it is. There's a particular memory of this day that is coming up. That's why Karen had tea. That's why she's a little out of it.
All right. Well, Gavin very quickly sort of shifts gears and says, "Oh, there's Mira again. Eggs Benedict?"
Yes, indeed.
He signals to Mira as she setting something down for something else, and she just comes over. Tray just folded up again. She's, yes, what can I get for you, Mr. Bat? We'll have 2 eggs Benedicts, please, Mira. Very good. Anything else? No, that'll be it for now, I believe. Okay, I'll have that right out for you. Thank you, dear. Mira shuffles off. As she shuffles off, the camera cuts, and we see a car. Give me a roll, Caboose.
Hey, +1.
We see a car arriving we see a car arriving in the garage successfully. Doesn't seem to be any additional damage than what has already occurred.
As they're getting out and parking, Troy just notes, Patty, have you ever considered getting diagnosed for being on the spectrum?
The fuck you trying to say?
Never mind.
No. If you're gonna say shit, say it with your chest. Come on.
I've noticed you have a predilection for being slightly more chattier than the average human.
Are you being sexist?
I did not refer to your gender in any way.
Have you considered maybe you don't talk enough?
What would you like to talk about?
Well, let's talk about the fact that we still got this ticket on this fucking car.
That would be the precipice of events. So yeah, now Troy is seeing it in real life as he walks up to the car. I'm guessing he doesn't exactly see anything more than he was able to garner while he was on the hardware layer.
I mean,
Technically, he probably even sees less.
it is a sticker. It's a very high-tech sticker. It's molecularly bonded to the Windows. But it's got contact information. It's all digital. It's connect to the app sort of situation, pay your fine, scan this code to connect to, and then transfer credits and that sort of thing.
All right, Troy, what you thinking?
Troy reaches out with one of his fingers. I'll say the left pinky finger is most likely to have a physical interface that would interface with this thing.
Doesn't have any
Some kind-
ports.
I know, not specifically a port, but some kind of contact wireless interface, I'll say.
Okay, so your left pinky finger's got an NFC chip in it, does it?
Something like that, basically, yeah.
Okay. Give me a roll.
All right, and I was planning on adding physical access to that roll too.
Okay.
If the NFC chip is
Give me a roll.
all right. +1, +2.
It immediately comes up with a payment interface.
Can Troy make an attempt to trick it to thinking it received the paid signal?
Only if Troy describes to me in detail the technical processes that would engage would be involved.
I mean, it's literally just a receiver chip. It's just waiting for a signal or a command of some kind to deactivate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to guess it's, in fact, remote. They don't actually need to go over and physically remove it. It can remove itself.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be some kind of signal that he can just pulse into it that'll read as this has been paid, the signal deactivate.
The problem with that is what is the signal and how did he get it? Because the signal would be some sort of information.
Right.
It would be electromagnetically encoded information. And so it could be waiting for the word yes. It could be waiting for a hashed a transaction ID. It could be waiting for, a code word. It could be waiting for... So how does he know what to send to it, or what does he send to it?
Can he access its memory?
You can try.
Okay. Troy is going to attempt to access its memory and see if there's on the memory somewhere, there's a storage of what is the signal it needs to receive? What is the message it needs to receive to deactivate? Roll. +1. And can I still add my stunt to that, or does that really only count for the first one?
Your stunts are usually, unless we otherwise list them. What's the wording on that stunt?
I got mine. Physical access. If Troy can physically access the device, +2 to hacking.
That's not a once per session. So, yeah, you can add it.
All right, so that's another 3.
You see that it is waiting for something, and that something has been hashed. So you have a variable that you at least have a pre-processed variable that you now have that it is waiting to receive. What that is, or at least what that is in that moment, you don't know. Because I'll say with that roll, you can see that it's a rolling code. The code is not static.
All right. Troy removes his pinky for a moment, and he turns to Patty and states, "The tamper protections on this device is slightly more sophisticated than I anticipated.
Okay.
If I were to make the attempt at deactivating it, either remotely or from here, I worry that it may either permanently latch or potentially alert some authorities."
I mean, your friends fucked with this before. Would you know how to fuck with this shit?
They have not, as far as I'm aware, they have not messed with something as specific as this.
I mean, they literally did the whole fucking fuck with the cops thing. Like, is it that much harder for you to fuck with a ticket?
I'm still learning.
I love that Patty doesn't see the difference between Troy's friends and Troy.
Hey, she trusts Troy a lot, okay? Alright, I mean, fair enough.
I do not believe what they did with the cops was, strictly speaking, this level.
Yeah, I mean, fair. Question. What is the ticket made of, Troy?
It is made of a molecularly bonded
It's a polymer.
Yeah, I was about to say nanopolymer.
Yeah.
That is bonded to the window. It cannot be physically removed without a deactivation signal.
Okay, give me a second. Alright. I have a harebrained idea, Troy. So,
I am listening.
I just did it. My hands. I can light them up. I produce electricity like I'm providing a defibrillation, and I can shock them up, and then I can use that. Do you think there's some way we could, like, fuck with the chemicals in the bond? Like, there's something there, right?
It is chemically bonded.
I'm just
Destroying
throwing the idea out.
Destroying the device will not remove the blocking. In fact, it may risk permanently adhering the polymer to the windshield.
Take my fun away from me.
Fair
We're
enough.
learning, okay?
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, look, I'm just throwing ideas out there, Troy. If you, like, when you say it's more sophisticated, how much more sophisticated are we talking? Are we talking, like, are you worried about touching the trap door and, like, fucking fall into a pit level shit?
I doubt that it would pose any particular risk to me. It would either permanently adhere this to the car or potentially alert authorities, meaning we would have to leave or potentially get in trouble.
Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Is the door open?
Troy tries the door.
Door's open.
All right.
Okay. What's the transmission? Is it automatic, stick shift?
I don't think it was ever specified for this vehicle, but given
And Patty has driven this vehicle before.
Patty has driven this vehicle, then automatic.
I don't think I've driven this vehicle.
I was just say.
This is what you delivered Krill and Dalton to the medic bay in.
No.
Yes. We didn't have Mickey's car then.
I think Karina's right.
And you didn't use the van.
No, because the van is still 2 layers down in the underground, missing its tires, and probably has even more become a living shelter for the homeless since then.
Yeah.
It's become a shrine.
I'm still
Probably.
still chuffed with the burial at sea.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Riley
so-
laughed her fucking head off hearing about that.
So the question I have to ask, how does it start? Push, key, what are we looking at?
That has definitely never been described.
We described it as being entirely mechanical, but I suppose that
Key.
wasn't necessarily. Okay,
It's a what?
Key.
it's a key.
Okay. She climbs in the driver's seat, and she wants to see if she can at least just move the transmission at all. See if that's possible. Is it just firmly stuck in there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. She looks over to Troy. Look, so the idea I would have going through my head was like, if we could get it closer to the entrance, right? If we try and take off the ticket, if it doesn't go right, we can quickly pull out.
Just metagaming bullshit. Shut up, chat.
I failed to see what that would do.
Well, we get it close to the entrance. We're close by the entrance. You do the whole hacking procedure. You fuck up, and then we can just leave, and whatever.
What would that do? Why would we need to roll that out, though?
Well, you're worried about them coming after us. If they're going to physically meet us in person, it makes it harder for them to get to us in person, even if they can't track us.
What would rolling this out of the parking lot? In what way would that make it harder for them to track us or catch us?
Well, you failed to get into thing goes off, and then we're like, okay, that thing is going off, let's leave.
Couldn't we just leave the parking lot?
I mean, fair, but you are also talking about the concerns of them still finding us even then, like them tracing it back to us in the car.
And in what way would rolling this out decrease our chances of being found?
Physical location. It's physical location at least makes it harder, but whatever. Okay, the question I have to ask is, what do you need to do?
What I need to do
Mhm.
is find a way to remove this.
Okay.
There
Wait.
are multiple avenues I can take, some less risky than others.
Okay. Which one would you prefer?
The least risky avenue would be to pay the fine.
I mean, fair, but ideally we don't want to pay the fine, because that's a lot of creds, and I don't need Karen's breathing down my back.
Wouldn't we? This is for a paid mission, or paid contract, isn't
Yeah,
it?
but we don't know how much it's going to pay, that's the problem. It could be 500 creds, and we could literally just pay off the ticket. It could be 1,000 creds. We don't know.
it would allow us to have an asset on our hands.
Okay,
A car
fair.
that is less conspicuous and more utilitarian than a race car.
You want me to send Karen a message to see if she's willing to pay 500 creds?
I believe Karen is preoccupied, is she not?
Maybe, but I could always send her a quick text, see if it pops up on her codex.
Perhaps. Perhaps, if you feel that is necessary.
Okay. I quickly connect my codex to the ticket because I've paid a ticket before. And how much is the ticket right now?
$550 credits.
Okay. I sent a quick codex message over to Karen. You willing to pay 550 creds? Otherwise, Troy's going to be hacking into this and risking the cops coming on us. Your choice.
No response.
Okay. Turns back to Troy. You want me to message Krill? See if she's got 550 creds on her?
If you think that will help.
Alright. Same message to Krill.
I'd like to remind everyone that I do not have any credits since last time that I saved everyone's butt by paying off our debt to the local mob. And since then, I have put all of the money I've accumulated into the team's budget, which is under Karen's control.
I'm just imagining this as an automated message.
Oh, it definitely came back like a copy pasta. Like, this was instant.
Alright. Well, Krill's out. We could do Jacob's old line, see if we get 550 creds on that.
Do you have access to that line?
I could ask Krill. Just sends him another message to Krill. You got access to Jacob's old account?
No, I do not.
Alright. Okay. Troy. I don't got the creds. Krill doesn't have the creds. Karen's busy. So we either hack it, unless you got a magical black site account hidden off of fucking, I don't know where.
I only have 50 credits to my name.
And I got 100 at most. So
Trying, Karina.
I don't even know what she's saying because I'm not even looking. What's she saying? I'm scared.
No. Stay in the scene, you two.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay. Troy, what do we do? Do you want... Because I don't want us to get caught by the cops, but what do we do?
Besides attempt to pay off the fine.
Where are the creds?
Exactly. I could try a few avenues of attempting to hack it. I cannot make any guarantees, though, that these avenues will be effective or risk-free.
Okay. So before you do that, I want to ask you. So this car is for us to try and be less conspicuous. This is for us to, like, smooth in, smooth out, jobs, whatever, right? The car we have right now can still do the job for us. It's more conspicuous. Do we really need this car, or are we risking bringing everything down on us?
I like the proper context to properly analyze that. You, being a human and more experienced with this sort of thing, would have better knowledge.
God damn it. Why can't another... Okay. Look, okay? I'm trying to remember if there are moments where people have fucked with the tickets, and realistically, I don't have much knowledge because I don't have many experiences with cars. So...
Give me a roll.
Yep.
You sound like you're trying to do a lore roll.
I'm trying to, like, pull something out of my ass. +1.
The circles that you run in
Mhm.
either tend to not get tickets or just pay their tickets off.
Yeah.
The very basic street level knowledge you have, though, you know it can be done. Dudes make a living boosting cars.
Mm. Yeah.
It's a thing.
Wait, Troy, I have an idea. Is there a way you can get the system to register as a shorter time period? Could you get it to reduce the amount of credits so we could still pay it off, but we're paying less?
I do not believe the device itself stores that data. That data may more likely be on a database.
But it doesn't hurt to check. Just
Knowing what I know now of the net running aspect, this is most likely going to be even riskier than just trying to directly hack the device.
when you looked at it before, what were you able to see?
There is a rolling hashed code that it is waiting for.
Okay.
I cannot simply just give it the signal.
Can you see into the system itself without having to alter it?
Potentially to an extent.
Okay, well, if you can see inside it potentially, right? Then the real question then is if there's something to activate if something gets inside it. But if you can get inside it, just see inside it without changing anything, you could see if there is something there that it registers as data or information.
I will give it an attempt, and Troy places his left pinky back on the device.
Okay. Give me a roll.
Alrighty. +1, +2.
There is, in clear text, 2 dates and times.
Alright, Troy is going to change the ending date to a minute from now.
The credit price ticks up by 2 credits.
Darn. Okay.
You come back to me at all?
No, Troy is going to change the date forward. See if that will tick the credits backwards.
What do you mean change the date forward?
Are you like doing the jailbreak thing where you like send it like into an insane time?
No, if I'm trying to... Basically, I'm trying to reverse the dial, basically, to see if setting the date closer to us increases the,
Remember what I told you. There's 2 date and timestamp. There's 2 date timestamps on this.
Right.
You did the one closest to you,
Right.
and you pushed it forward. And the ticket and the price of the ticket went up.
Right. Troy is going to push it down.
Dates don't go down.
Backwards.
Okay.
Reverse the date.
Okay. By how much?
Let's start with 3 days.
The ticket is 2 credits. With
All right.
with service charge, it's 122 credits.
Troy turns to Patty and states, I have lowered the ticket price to 122 credits.
Look at you! Holy shit! You got it! Let's send me your 50 creds over. We can just pay this off real quick.
All right. Troy transfers over the 50 credits to Patty.
Cool. Just pay the whole creds.
There is basically you see it start to sort of bubble up and sort of just evaporate. The ticket sort of sublimates.
Hey, I just grabbed Troy's shoulders. I'm like, you're a fucking genius, man.
Troy just picks up the little sticker device.
Oh, it's
And-
gone.
Oh, the sticker device.
The
itself is
whole
gone, too.
thing just evaporates.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. If we could figure out how to create that, we could fuck with people.
Perhaps you should consult Krill.
Maybe. I'm just saying. We make fake tickets. They have to pay it. They pay us. We can make some money.
That is a potential avenue of income.
We'll keep that on the back burner. But all right. Slides in the car. We still don't have a key though. That's the problem.
We watch as the ticket evaporates and this potential new grift is evolving in Patty's head, and it's just okay. Now we got to get this car started, right? And the camera cuts, and we're back at the base with Krill. What's Krill up to?
So Krill is looking at these two massive storage containers. And she's just kind of like pulling on them to see if she can get them to fucking open. KIH ones.
I'm sorry. Which? Oh, okay. I see what you're after. Okay. Okay.
So she's pulling just to see if they're open without her having to do worse.
They are not open, but they're not very heavily locked. There's the sort of modern equivalent of a shitty master lock on it.
Krell taking one look at this. Looks at the table behind her, seeing a wrench on it. Just kind of nods and goes, okay.
This future master lock can be opened with another future master lock.
Absolutely.
Shout out McNally. Fucking dude,
She just whacks it real hard on a downward angle.
it pops right off. All that's left is the shackle.
She picks up the master lock and just goes over to the other and whacks it with it.
It pops right off.
And she just chucks them across the room into the trash pile, because she'll just use the material for anything more useful than they are.
Okay.
And with her full body, she's swinging that door open.
Okay. Which
So
one?
the first one.
The top one?
Top one, yeah.
Inside. Okay, so this has been set for a while.
Dead children bodies. We could have saved them months ago.
Inside the top one. My God, I just hold on. I just want to try and look at all of you as I do this. All right, so inside the top one are 4 motorcycles.
We're dumb.
No, this
We're-
is beautiful. I envisioned all of this happening, and this makes me so happy.
Yep.
Oh, well, these would have been very useful for earlier things. Hell, these would have been very useful for today. Interesting. Well, if no one uses them, I could make something cool with them, though. Hell yeah. And Krill just puts on an archive list for motorcycles. Can I get a year on them?
Oh, they're currents.
Oh, they're modern. 4
Yeah.
modern motorcycles. Push start. Are they? I guess she She just checks one of them to see if they're like biometrically locked to anybody or are they free use. Sweet.
They're up. They're
All
up
right.
on. There's one. It's basically the container. They're racked. They're not on the ground. They're racked on the walls, and so
Okay.
that sort of thing.
No, but she was just making sure they
Yeah.
didn't have like a bio lock or anything.
Yeah, not that you can see. Not at first glance.
Okay. Okay. These would be very useful. And she's just checking the containers. Is there anything else, like a maintenance crate for them or anything like that?
No, not. There seems to just be that in here.
All right. No, that's still very useful. She gets out, closes it so dust don't get in there, and she can keep it to herself if she wants to fuck with anybody.
Okay.
She swings open the other door.
You see in the back a stack of tires. You see a mechanic's workbench. You see a container, a standing container of fluids, lubricants, replacement belts on the wall. I don't know if
AJ, eat your heart out.
I don't know if Krill. Hold on, let me just check something really fast. If you want to give me a lore roll, you can.
Absolutely can. That's a +1 on the die, so a total of 2.
I mean, a fair for Krill's life experience, though. I don't know. It looks like these containers are sort of like purposeful modular units, right? Like they don't seem like it's just a storage container that was loaded up with bikes and gear. It seems to be that these are units for these bikes and this gear. They seem to be, they belong together. What that means in a greater context, I don't think Krill would be familiar enough with racing circuits and that sort of thing to realize that somebody stole a motorcycle racing team's kit, and it is sitting here.
No, Krill would never be able to recognize that. But she would recognize that these are a pair.
This goes with
She'd be able
that.
to recognize.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like,
yeah, she'd understand the mechanics of, though, that wheel goes on that bike, but not the greater meaning of what these things are.
maybe that slimy bastard was investing in a racing team or something. Oh well, cool. More for us. With that though, she does take a quick look at the table. Does it have any auto manufacturing bits to it, or is it just like a hand workshop table?
It's just a quick, I need to bang something out mechanics table.
Okay, closer to what she had at her old apartment. All right. Not something she's unfamiliar with, just not her shit. Coolio. All right. Makes a note. Vehicle mechanic. Workshop in second crate. Leaves and closes that again. Taking a breather. She just checks to see what's half built on the table here.
Nothing. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Let me finish this message.
Oh, no, you're good.
Okay. So were you still inside the containers or you leave? You're...
No, she left the container now, closed the door again, and she's looking at the table in front of the containers there. She's just trying to see what's half built there.
Give me a roll.
Gotcha. That's a +1 on the die. if she'd be using crafting or not.
No,
for
it'd be
that,
investigate.
but, still not the worst.
Just stuff with some things. Yeah. It does not take Krill too long to figure out that what she's looking at, look, a lot of stuff can actually be similar. Like, a lot of stuff is similar to, it's possibly a boom boom without the boom boom.
Oh. Okay.
But electronic triggering systems, containment, pressure containers, there's a lot of crossover.
Chemical or reactive?
Seems to just be housing and triggering system. There doesn't seem to be, like I said,
Okay.
if it is a boom boom, it would be the boom boom without the boom boom.
Okay, so
But
missing
it
its
could be
warhead.
it could be
basically.
something else entirely. But given Krill's predilections and where her Krill's brain goes normally, I'd imagine that Krill would look at this and go, "This could be a bomb."
For all we know,
But
it is a smoke machine. But to her,
yeah,
oh, this could absolutely detonate at high impact with the right
yeah.
chemicals put
But
inside
I mean,
here.
but if we saw inside Krill's brain, we'd also just see a lot of stuff labeled bomb. People would be walking down the street and she'd go potential bomb, right? Like it's just everything is potential bomb to
It's
Krill.
not her fault that that person had a fusion core powered leg system, which she knew if she got the right hacking process, she could make itself detonate.
Yeah,
Yes,
so-
that person is a walking bomb.
So while it seems to have the makings of, there's no sussing out whether this is Krill's internal biases seeing a bomb or whether it actually is a bomb. But if
Either way, it could be made one with Krill's touch.
yes.
And the table next to it, this little LED glowing table. What am I looking at here?
It's a scanning table.
Oh, lovely.
Mhm.
Lovely. Something else that can scan without having to use the main table would be nice. Okay. She already knows what that shit-smelling thing is next to them. But she is curious about the crate next to it, so she's gonna pluck her nose and crack open that green crate there.
It is a crate full of fetid piss and shit.
Motherfuckers!
And with the opening of that crate, I will say this entire warehouse now sort of instantly smells like just fetid piss and shit.
All right, more reason to go check on. More reason. Okay, she walks to the room and just cracks the heavy bay door just a little, just to start airing out a little bit.
Okay.
And then she walks into the lab to go check to see if her manufacturing of the beta system is complete.
That is a good point. You can actively taste that now.
Mhm.
That's in the back of your throat now. That's a core memory now.
Krill's now learning she has a gag reflex. Oh God.
So
Ugh.
give me a roll for the crafting table.
Zero on the die.
Give me one more roll.
Another 0 on the die. It's fate. They're weighted to 0.
It's what they're supposed to do.
It's not quite done, but it should be.
Oh no. Girl goes to check its basically its feedback panel, see if there's anything going wrong, some errors or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just a log full of errors.
Why though? Girl messages Troy. Troy? Are you able to, from a distance, check the security of the base?
Troy replies, "Why? Do you believe there is an issue?"
I've just had a long list of errors on the manufacturing table.
There's a bit of a pause, and Troy says, "There is a chance that these errors may have been my fault from the tampering I was doing while trying to increase the base's securities, but I can check."
You had already told me that the table was working fine, and it had been up until now, so I'm actually worried more something has changed.
Troy looks over to Patty and asks, "Have you been able to get the car started?"
Patty's got the driver's manual open. She's like looking up how to hotwire a car because like she's done it once.
Not in the driver's manual. Yeah, that's not in the. That's not in the.
Driver's manual is going to tell you how to.
He has
hotwire
the driver's
fucking car.
manual because the research told her to get the driver's manual.
Okay, so
Yes.
is she online looking this up, or where is she getting this information?
Just gucking it.
Okay, fucking all right. So
Troy just looking at Patty. I have some time.
cool.
And you know what? For the sake of speed and the fact that Troy does kind of like it, Troy's going to log in through the hardware layer. And he's going to start flying towards the direction that he feels that the base is in, connecting from wire to wire, and arriving at the base. After, to him, a few minutes of just navigating this luminescent highway of data, to everyone else, barely a milliseconds passed. And when he arrives at the base, he goes to look over to the table. Is there anything he is seeing?
A hardware layer. No. It's receiving commands, it's operating, it is working as near as you can tell. Like, there isn't, at the hardware layer, it is functioning. The hardware is not broken. It's doing, the table is performing the tasks that it seems to, it is being told to perform.
All right. Troy logs off the hardware layer and then logs on to the software layer.
Okay.
And knowing, since he technically managed to get there from the software layer before, he already knows the pathway to the little facility housing the network location where his base is.
Yep.
And makes his way. And as he steps in to the location, his little puzzle activates, since he is accessing it from the other direction. But luckily, Troy anticipated this. He put to memory the sequence of patterns that he will need to walk through unhindered. Which is... Let me just go look to it real quick. Come on, I highlighted you. Where the hell are you?
It's hidden in a file in Troy's memory banks.
Okay, I found it. Troy walks through in the following pattern. Doors 3, 6F, 1AD, 7C5, E3, 3F, 3F5.
When you reach 5, you find yourself back at the beginning of the hallway.
That doesn't make any sense. Troy's going to try that same sequence again.
It goes on again.
Shit. And unfortunately, since Troy is accessing it from the other direction, he can't just go in there and see what's up. So he logs off and contacts Krill and states there appears to be an issue with the system.
God. Should I take a look at it?
Yes?
Continue.
Okay. There's a brief pause and just Troy states, "You are free to. However, I mean no offense, I doubt you could properly comprehend exactly how the system works."
I do not fathom you and I think similarly at all. I do agree with that. But hopefully, if it's something obvious, I can maybe at least figure out what's wrong, but
That would be your prerogative.
just get back sooner than later then. If I avoid this, I really hope it's not a security threat and I'm putting all of us in danger by doing so, but I do not want to mess with your work as you would not mess with mine.
Did Krill read the error logs?
Well, yeah, she did.
They're all memory allocation errors.
Try their memory allocation errors.
You just, after a brief moment, you just get one word reply back. Oops.
Get back and please and when you get back, please allocate my table its proper needed space, as manufacturing a port or two, not that heavy. Building an entire technical machine or a drone will in fact be very taxing.
Perhaps I was more ambitious than we were capable of sustaining.
Yes, I would appreciate you figuring out the cost to upgrade our system so that we can try and find the funds for it in the future. Until then, I'm going to work on a more simpler project that won't tax our system so hard. I'm also going to flush the cash before I do so.
Troy built a nearly infinite firewall program on Swaim's janky ass old systems.
Mm-hmm.
He's learning.
Yep. Software runs fine.
Unlike Troy, other
it's-
things are limited.
That's all it run. That's all this shit's running now.
The lights aren't on.
Krill sighs and sinks herself with the table to use some of her own processing. And just starts working on Karen's gun since she doesn't even have the processing power to handle this entire project alone. I think.
So, as Krill sinks back into sort of just resolving herself to deal with this, the camera cuts back, and we now see a table with 3 flutes per side. The third one partially drunk. Plates cleared. There's some sweets that have been partially eaten as well. And we find ourselves back with Karen and Gavin. A little more lubricated, better fed.
You know, I wasn't thinking this day was going to be this good, Gavin, but it's turned out quite well.
Ah, well, there's nothing wrong with a lovely brunch with a lovely person. But I do believe that this is sort of the end of my, well, how shall we say, expendable time for today. If you would like, we could, I suppose, talk business a bit more. If you'd like to come visit me at my office, that could be arranged. But I think I will have to beg of you my leave.
Okay. I take you up on that. I do want to see you on a beach, Gavin. I want to get you there.
Well, we shall see about that, I suppose. Gavin stands up, puts his napkin down. He says, if you'd like, have anything you want, they'll add it to my tab. And by all means, I shall bid you adieu. He just gives you a brush kiss on the cheek. Give me a roll.
Zero.
Karen. What are you looking at as Gavin leaves? Seeing as he was facing the door and you're facing the back of, or at least you're probably next to him, right? Or across from. You decide.
I would watch him intently
Okay.
as he left.
You see the same individual that you saw put him in his car the night that you first met, get up from the sort of bar area and follow him out. Then you see a couple that was at a table diagonal to yours get up and very quickly follow out. Some time passes and Mira comes over and just places down a plate that has a piece of cake, and she says, "Compliments of Mr. Bayette." And when she puts the plate down, you see that there is a piece of paper sticking out from underneath, and Mira walks away.
From under the plate, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
As subtly as she can, Karen slides the paper out and puts it into her purse. And takes a couple bites of the cake. And does another glance, a look through the room to see who's left here.
It's a full house. It's a busy Sunday brunch. The busser's already bussing the table next to you that just got up. They're constantly turning tables. No one that you recognize. I mean, maybe some people you recognize. You might recognize an actor there over there. You might recognize, that sort of thing. No one you know personally. But there's some notables here.
Well, Karen takes the note back out of her purse and goes ahead and tries to take a peek at it.
Can't talk. Being watched. We'll try again.
Okay. Karen takes one more big bite of cake, all in one.
It's carrot cake.
But it's the best damn carrot cake I've ever had.
It is. I mean, it's all about the frosting anyway.
Cream cheese.
Cream cheese frosting. Yeah, exactly.
Karen revels in the flavor, spreading it around her mouth, getting all the flavor on every corner of her tongue. Not for the flavor profile, but to taste it on her entire fucking tongue. God, I love this. It's good being me. And Karen stands up and heads on out.
As Karen walks out of the restaurant, the camera cuts away, and we find ourselves back with our intrepid duo.
Okay, just to ask, because I did grab the keychain on top, and I took it to Dalton's apartment. Could I do a quick look just to make sure that he didn't place another set of keys that actually connects to the car?
Feel free.
All right. I have to check just to make sure, because I know me. +1, so,
That'd be probably a resources roll or an investigate roll.
Yeah.
You have neither.
I have +1 in investigation.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got that last upgrade.
Okay. Okay. So just wondering why this isn't, I updated this. I don't know why it's not on there. Either way,
Can I spend a fate point?
you can,
All right.
if you can justify it.
All right. Let me see if I can justify it. Okay, give me a second. I have an idea.
Okay.
So, high concept. She's good at, in a sense, she's like, okay, I'm in work mode. I need to find this specific piece. I am turning on the ADHD focus to find a pair of keys.
It doesn't really help if the keys don't exist.
That's fair.
Now, if you had, and this is just for if you had described this as hot wiring the car, right, then this would make sense.
Yeah.
That probably
That's-
not the first time that
Yeah.
Patty's had to evac a hot situation.
Yeah.
I
I just wanted to see the keys first.
You've gone for a key search. There are none.
Okay, that's fine. She's like, well, back to the hot wiring then. I had to just cover my bases, and she's just getting back to it. She's making sure she's got a little guide set up just in case if she has any fuck ups. She's just being careful. She's like, I don't need to fuck anything up here.
How okay. Let me just There was an entire discussion between you two about the price of the ticket, right? You open aired that discussion, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
You paid 122 credits, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
As you're doing this, Patty, your codex chimes.
Pop it up. What's going on?
Somebody has just transferred 122 credits to you.
Patty, it's like pulling open the console at the bottom, and she turns her head to Troy. Yo, Troy. So, you know that 122 creds I just paid?
I'm aware.
I just got paid 122 creds back.
From who?
Who is it from?
It is washed as credits get.
Washed. Can you? Sorry.
Anonymous.
Yeah, there's no way to trace it.
Okay. Just completely anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the creds bounced back? I don't. What?
I do not possess the adequate data to make that assessment.
Can you try and figure out who sent it? Can you get in my codex for a second?
I can.
Okay.
Troy remotely accesses her codex.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take a wild guess here. When Troy did this to go examine the message that she got,
Yep.
he didn't find a damn thing.
Yeah. Well, what did he find?
He found that it was sent anonymously, sent in a way that he couldn't trace it
It
back.
was sent anonymously directly to her.
Right. Oh yeah, right. Through a peer-to-peer thing.
Yes.
I'm going to guess Troy's seeing another peer-to-peer direct communication.
You are correct.
All right. Troy looks back to Patty and states, "Perhaps this mysterious figure is your benefactor."
Wait. Who? Someone.
It was another peer-to-peer connection. I cannot trace it.
Someone just sent me 122 creds.
It would appear so.
Is my codex bugged? Is there something in there?
Troy holds out his hand and states, "May I see your codex?" And he's going to give it an examine. He's going to look for any potential data streams coming off of it that are atypical for a codex.
I mean, realistically, Krill has this thing bugged to high heaven.
True. Shit, so that means there's probably nothing usable Troy could get. It's just going to, or at least nothing Troy could find in there that would be discernible from everything Krill has done.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fundamentally, it would absolutely get red flagged. Like, this thing is, yeah, there are multiple processes coming off of this phone that have outbound connections.
It will deny you from flagging your own IP, even if you did it accidentally. There's no fucking way it's not going to recognize foreign data being downloaded.
Yeah. So, like, this fundamentally is going to throw up red flags. Now, I don't know if Troy is going to put together that this is like, this device is bugged. All right. This device is bugged. Now, who bugged it? Is it Krill? Is it someone else? Is this being piggybacked? Is this that sort of thing? Is a whole other ballgame. That's an entirely different conversation and narrative exploration for you. But to answer your question, oh yeah, for sure.
I'm going to say that with Troy's current capability, he would not realistically possess, unless I were to somehow have an incredibly lucky roll, the ability to discern what the hell is Krill's tampering, what the hell is supposed to be there, what the hell does Patty want. I don't even think Patty could tell either.
I mean, we haven't even discussed this.
Yeah.
I don't think Troy can even read Krill Tech programming.
So, yeah.
I mean, technically Troy can read anything, but understanding what that anything is a whole nother thing.
It's all about context with Troy as to, like, you know. So, to answer your question. So, in other words,
this thing's too fucking noisy for Troy to actually figure out what the hell is going on.
Yeah, this device is definitely broadcasting. Like, it's constantly broadcasting in a multitude of ways. So, you know, how much exploration and education has Troy done on that matter comes down to, you know, that sort of thing.
Virtually none at this point.
Yeah. So,
at least when it comes to this specific thing, but so Troy hands Patty's codex back to her and states, perhaps you should deactivate your codex for the time being, and we should discuss this with Krill.
Okay. She just turns it off and slips it into her pocket. So, how bad is it?
There are numerous avenues of data streaming that could be used to access this device.
Okay. Well, we're going to need to fix that when we get back.
I do not possess the technical knowledge to understand adequately the modifications and tampering that Krill has done on your device.
Wait. Krill's the one sending out that shit?
No.
I built your fucking codec.
Well, you know, next time she does that, just, you know, give me a fucking heads up.
Krill is not the one sending you this data.
I realize that, but, you know, you give me shit, tell me what I'm fucking working with.
Did you ever consider to ask?
No, which is my fault, obviously. You get shit, ask it, right? Fair enough. But, you know, if you're making shit for me, give me a fucking heads up. Just, hey, Patty, don't be a dumb nut for a second.
I will set a reminder.
So,
don't actually tell her that. I'm going to have that conversation, okay? That's me and her, not you being my representative.
As you wish.
Okay, cool. All right, now let's get this car hotwired so we can get home and figure out this shit as fast as possible, so we can figure out who the fuck is fucking with me. And she just gets back to hot wiring. She's frustrated, annoyed, paranoid, and she's like, okay, get the car hot wired. You can do this. You've done this a couple times. It's not your first fucking run on this shit. Let's go. And she just takes a breath, lets the shit wash off her for a second, and just starts hot wiring the car.
Give me a roll.
All right. +1. Can I use another fate point here to try and get into that mode of... All right. She's like, all right. She does have to consult the manual just to make sure she knows which wire's which. She's like not familiar with the car, but she kind of knows the process. She's got a rough heuristic for it. And so she starts twisting different wires together. She's got those set up. And she's like, all right, there we go. And then she is like, all right, back up just a little bit. You know, I'm like 95% certain these are the right wires, but sometimes shit goes wrong. Maybe Dalton fuck with shit. You never know. Okay?
Car starts.
All right, she revs the engine a little bit just to make sure it's still going. She's like, can't let it stall. Checks to see if the wheels locked.
Nope.
Oh, that must be a new thing. Oh. And she's like, all right, you're driving that car home?
Yes.
All right, I'll meet you there.
Oh boy, 2 people making driving rolls.
She's still got a little bit of that flow going. She's like, all right, work mode. She's in.
Give me rolls.
Okay. +0. It's not my fault this time.
I can't blame Patty for this one.
Let's
That's
go.
a -3.
As Patty pulls out of the parking garage,
Uh-oh.
Troy is trailing behind her by a ways. And you almost hit somebody who steps out from behind one of the pillars.
Oh, that's a dick move.
Give me a roll.
Zero.
As they duck out of the way, Troy, braking immediately, just notices it's a male figure.
All right.
Taking no note of it, really. Troy just, continues on with his driving program. And falls out Patty onto the road.
Patty's got her thumbs tapping. She's like, someone's trying to get in contact with me. He, I don't know, is sending me money, sending me a puzzle, trying to make contact. What the fuck does that puzzle fucking mean?
Just while Troy is on his way driving, keeping up behind Patty, he's just kind of going through revising the security plans in his head. Something a little bit less intense that won't, mess up the server as much as his current one is right now. As proud of himself as he is for the accomplishment.
As
okay.
well, as you guys make your way back to the base, Karen, being a straight shot for all intents and purposes, would make it back first. Karen, the first thing that you'd notice upon arrival back to the base is the base stinks. It's not as bad as it was, but the base stinks.
Okay. Hey, Girl. Krill.
Get into the lab. It's safer. It smells less than bad in here.
So I can tell you found some fun things.
Turns out one of those crates was literally just their excess shit and piss.
Oh, it was the septic tank. Oh, this makes sense. I was wondering where it all went. Okay.
Because you have a connection with Jiku, I'm going to ask you if we can get permission to install plumbing in the near future.
Oh yeah. I'll ask. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Until then, I'm going to ask Troy, the one who lacks any nostrils, to go and dump that crate in the sewer outside our place. You just
Have him
open
at
the
least walk
manhole
it
cover.
up the alley a little bit. Yeah.
There's a manhole cover right outside our place. I just right down there, just out of the way of everybody and quickly out of harm's noses.
Fine. But we got to make sure
When-
Patty smells it before.
Oh, there's no way I can get the smell out of here before they're back.
Good.
Do you think we can get her to open it?
I did close the lid again.
Ooh.
We could try.
Okay.
As Krill is leaning up, she just slips her hand over something that was on the table behind some stuff out of Karen's view. And she pulls up this glittering blue and purple pistol and lays it in front of her. Hi, can I make a roll for this?
Yeah. As I said, I'm going to need one.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, that's a +1 on the die in the end. Sorry,
It's not just me.
-3 total to a +1.
The robots are at it.
That
The
memory
table has been-
allocation problem.
Yeah, no, the table's been fighting me all day. I'm lucky I got this done.
It's a gun.
Yeah, it needs some tweaking. It definitely needs some tweaking, but it can shoot at least now. I would ask you to let me refurbish it one more time before you take it out into the field.
Karen, give me a roll.
But-
0 again?
The magazine falls out of it when she hands it to you.
The revolver cartridge.
Oh, it's a
falls
revolver?
out. It's a revolver.
Then
The cylinder
Yeah,
slides
it's-
out.
no. Then no. Then you just take possession of this firearm.
Well, sure is pretty. You want to try it?
That is a fair ask. Do I not have it? Oh, sorry. I need to save the PDF of the image. Forgot to do that one. She takes it from Karen. Walks into the other room. Puts one of the master locks up against a wall, making sure nothing else is close to it. And attempts a roll.
Give me a
to
roll.
shoot.
Give me a roll.
That's a 0 on the die. I think I have a +1 to shoot.
You have a +1 to shoot. The hammer jams back.
Internalized hammer. Shit. breaks it, takes the cylinder, the replaceable cylinder system out, sees the internal hammer jammed. Motherfucker.
Yes, I know you wanted it to blow up, Forty, but none of those rules were catastrophic enough to cause that.
All right. So, let me at least explain what this will do once it's ready. It's got a 2-trigger system. First pull fires, the second pull slides the system, recocks it. Very rudimentary. The back has a display screen to tell you how many shots you have left in each one of your cylinders. It holds 8 shots. I have replacement cylinders with ammunition in them. These are not caseless shots, but the barrel is actually already silenced. So it's not going to have that much of an impact, but it still sounds. It's still loud, right? You know? The beauty of it, if it worked, is this thing can unload really quickly. If it worked.
That's usually the big catch on most firearms.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
This
That's
gun would
great
let
if it
you...
works.
Yeah, it's the trick.
Yeah. If I can refurbish it to
Canadian.
work proper, well... Wow. Should be able to lay accurate shots downrange at a decent fire rate, mattering on how fast you pull the trigger, giving you nice control over every moment. They
As
also
long as it
pack a
doesn't-
punch.
As long as it doesn't weigh 15 pounds either.
No, it's actually quite light. She hands it back to you just to show.
Okay.
And because Wordy was such a bitch about it, here's its already pre-made holster.
I saw the Canadian processing on that. It's holster.
I wanted to call it its case, and like it's not a case.
Oh, you're adorable, Karina.
gun holdy thingy.
I should be able to
Unless-
carry gun out at all times. Open carry every second of the day.
Not even that Karina hasn't shotguns. She's just not allowed to own them because they're They're more dangerous to her than they are others.
It's a gun home.
Gun home.
It's-
Exactly.
It's a little home.
It's
The
a-
gun goes here.
It's a gun
The
pocket.
Gundam. It's
the gun pocket.
Yeah.
No, it's the gun condom. The Gundam.
As this conversation about gun homes and gun pockets and gun condoms is occurring, his sheath, exactly. It's a gun
The
sheath.
gun sheath.
You know, why don't they call that actually? That actually works.
Because the sheaths are a sword.
Yeah, but
But that's the point.
Okay, that's a good point.
A weapon is sheathed. You sheath
Yeah.
your gun.
I don't know why-
Holster
why
your
didn't
gun.
I don't know why that didn't happen.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay. Japanese retrofuturism.
Yeah. Gun sheaths.
Gun sheaths.
Sheath your
Unarmed
weapon.
Holsters.
Um,
Sheath.
Okay.
Just Google it.
So as you guys are having this conversation, Patty is first to arrive. Patty, give me one final drive check.
I hate you. +0, +1.
You arrive without crashing into anything. Now, I don't think this vehicle I don't think this vehicle fits down the alleyway.
It
No,
it-
both of them did. They were very explicitly, both were small enough to do
Okay.
that.
Yeah, aren't
They were just-
Isn't it a sedan?
no.
No. It
It's-
was...
It's the specific
Brady.
I mean,
two-seater that has like that big open back that basically you can like just
we described
like,
it
it-
as having a back seat at least.
No, it's a
Oh.
4-seater with a big trunk.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
four-seater
okay, so-
that's really tight in the second backseat. You're right.
So it's like a station wagon then.
Yeah, it's a thin station wagon, pretty much. But Dalton and AJ never gave it a description of like a make. He just said it's basically hydrolifted, and we slowly got more details as things went.
As I go through those transcripts, I've
Magna-lifted,
just
pardon
been
me.
starting marking Dalton's cars so I can remember them.
So, Patty's the first to arrive back. Manages to arrive without crashing into anything, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Karen and Krill, being back out into the garage area now, would hear the arrival, especially with the door cracked a bit. Troy, give me a roll.
Don't hit anyone.
Okay, 0. I'll take it.
Careens into the back of now. So the two have arrived back now with the vehicle that they took, and the vehicle they went to retrieve.
Patty shuts off the ignition, untwists the wires, and just kind of sits back for a moment. She's having if you imagine like that visual behind her eyes, it's just the puzzle playing again and again. And there's that little bit of the 122 creds now visible, and she's just stuck, kind of like entranced ahead as she's just kind of like staring at nothing and just focused.
I don't think there's enough room for Troy to be able to pull the car. Or, well, not down the alley, yes, but into the garage.
Yeah, there's room for one small car in there.
So which means Troy is leaving the race car out in the alley in front of the garage. Unless someone else has another option that they like to chime in with, that's what Troy's going to do. Huh? Yeah.
I actually want to double check on that spacing, Kai, because those are shipping crates, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then there's definitely enough room long-wise for more than one vehicle to fit in there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you guys want to pull all the way in.
Yeah, that's more where I'm thinking.
Okay.
All right, yeah, we'll figure something else out later then. Yeah, okay, so...
Patty's like stuck in the moment. She gets attention from Troy and she shakes out of it, and she's like, "What? All right," and just slowly pulls into the garage.
Troy is pulling in behind Patty, and I'm going to use the roll I use. I'm not rolling again. I'm not taking that risk.
Patty, give me a roll.
Oh
Fuck
no!
Fuck you. -1, 0. That's a 0.
The hover transport over on the left that's used to move heavy stuff. Patty, absolutely, is just dragging it.
And she stops. Like, in that moment, she had a zone out moment again. She got caught in the thought process as she stops, sets off the ignition, and then steps out, and then looks. Oh. It's fine. Sorry about that. Can she pull it out? Is it stuck at all, or is it just...
It's now laying on its side on a pile of junk.
All right. She walks over. She's going to try and set it right up.
Give me a roll.
All right. +2.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah. She sets it up and then just kind of looks back to the car and then walks inside. She looks around. Is Karen back yet?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
All right. Well, Got the other car back, had a hot wire and shit, but Troy pulled some pretty cool shit. Yeah.
Nice. Glad you got the car back. Did you
And
see
just-
anything else while you were there?
We got another message, I think, from that fucking puzzle weirdo. They sent me back exactly 122 creds, the same amount I sent to pay the ticket. Which brings up a lot more questions than I was meaning to ask today. Where's Krill? She right here, or is she back around the edge?
Hey, I'm here. You see her at the table trying to fix something up that's just out of view.
So you got a list of all the shit that your tech is sending out, like all the data and shit? You got a list of that?
Are you asking, do I have an actual means of checking my programs?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Can you give me an exact number of how many things you got going on in there?
Not really, as some of my processes literally creates outputs and deletes them as needed. Here, just hand me the codex. She lays it on the scanning table at the edge of the crafting bench. And she gives it a deep scan of internals, as well as running the system through her, translating the Krill tech code.
Mural.
It's a 0 on the die.
As near as you can tell, it says you built it.
Mm-hmm. None of my code has been affected, but I also can't be sure there's anything on here that's not mine, not without.
Troy?
As Troy is walking in and getting out of his car, he states, "There is unusually high amount of ammonia and sulfur compounds in the air. Is there a sewage leak nearby?"
Yeah. Kinda.
Mm-hmm.
I found where they were putting the overflow from the mecha being used as a toilet during my spelunking today.
Spoiled the
You
fun.
spelunked into a toilet.
You need to clean it out?
Evidently, yes.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Toilet spelunking, toilet spelunking.
You may clean it out?
I was really hoping the android with a cleaning program and a lack of sensory organs to if he'd be willing to help us in this case.
I think it's my first time cleaning out shit.
Yeah, Patty, why
No,
don't you help
I-
Troy out?
You ever watch someone die? Fucking shitting themselves in the last moment?
Yeah, Patty should be fine.
Patty, are you assuming I haven't killed people before?
Have you stuck around long enough to watch them shit themselves?
I found it quite fascinating.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go clean this on my own. Troy, Krill, if you can figure out what the fuck's going on with my codex, because somebody's sending me money, somebody's sending me a puzzle. I need to know that shit. Just
Okay.
okay. And she pulls on some gloves, pulls on a mask, and just starts going to fucking town on the fucking shit. Literally.
What, are you eating it or something?
Fuck you! No. Cleaning it.
as Patty walks off to clean the septic, as it were, the crate full of shit, the last thing we see on the camera is literally a crate of shit as it fades to black.